Threats to the aftermarket today come in a lot of shapes and forms, and you hear the Chinese, we heard it was only 20 years ago that the Japanese were going to take over the entire industry. Um, and then it was the Mexicans were going to take over the entire industry. And today we hear a lot about China. The biggest threat today is not China. The biggest threat today is not imports. The biggest threat to the automotive aftermarket and heavy duty aftermarket, more so automotive first, and I'll explain why. But the biggest threat today is the OE dealer. The biggest threat today is the car manufacturer trying to contain that car for the life of the vehicle. They want to own that car until it goes to the scrapyard, which from business sense makes a tremendous amount of sense. I mean, it's a good idea. This number may be a little inaccurate, but I heard it as true, so I'll take it as true. But 70% of the gross profit dollars generated today at a car dealership come from the repair and service side, not selling new cars. If you take that to its fruition, you say, okay, I'm a car manufacturer and I need dealerships for cars under my brand. I won't name a brand. I'll call them Caracci cars. I'm Caracci Car Manufacturing and I need dealerships for Caracci cars. But the dealerships can't make any money or not enough money to sustain their dealership selling Caracci cars. That said, if they go out of business, I have no outlet for Caracci cars. If I also know as Caracci cars that 70% of their profit dollars come from fixing cars, it's in my best interest as Caracci Car Manufacturing to get them into that service business and protect their service business. Because as long as they're making money off service, I've got showroom floors to sell my cars. So that's why it's apparent to me that's what this whole OE thing is about. The telematics, the electronics. Today there are tests going on, and in fact you see it already in some ads, but today they can diagnose a car driving on the road. And they can tell the owner of the car what's wrong with it, and they can tell the owner of the car to come in and get it fixed. There is no way right now for this industry to compete with that. And as it gets more dominant, we're going to become less competitive. We need to address whether it's a right to repair issue, whether it's a technical training, whether it's the availability of the material so the mechanics can fix the car, whatever it is, and it's probably a multitude of things, we need to make sure that our service centers, if you will, can compete. If you go to Europe today, you'll hear, and I again won't mention a brand name so that we don't have brand name issues, but you'll hear, where do you get your car fixed? And in Europe, they'll say, I get my car fixed 70% of the time at the car dealer. The rest of the time, they're likely to say at the Blip Service Center. The Blip is a product brand that I'll leave out. So there are service centers in Europe that are professionally trained, that have access to all the telematics and all the technical data, all the electronic data, that they can fix the cars. And today in Europe, that's where people go. If that happens here, we're going to lose a lot of aftermarket businesses. Yep, we aren't even close. Name any service center, even the big ones. You name a Meineke or name a Midas, or name any big chain, a Firestone, which excellent chains. They don't have telematics. They don't have all the information it takes to fix the electronic or to diagnose electronically the automobiles and the trucks. And heavy duty trucks are next, because now with the new engines that came into law this year, the electronics is going to do the same thing in heavy duty diesels. And I believe that the OEs are pushing for those laws, because the more of those laws they get, the more control they get over the vehicle. Every threat, there's an opportunity. And when you look at the threat, I wish I was not 58, I wish I was 38, because the opportunity today, as I see it, is the threat. The opportunity today is to gain access to that information, because unfortunately, a lot of the aftermarket is satisfied doing what they've always done. They're happy with the way things are right now, so they don't go out and do something new. They don't go out and learn something new. They don't invest in something new. The guy with the repair center or the auto parts store or the warehouse distributor that's in so-and-so Iowa isn't bothering to do it because he's okay today. But the person that figures out how to gain access and how to diagnose the vehicles, and then how to fix the vehicles using the electronics and the telematics that the OEs have had legislated into the vehicles. That person is going to come out, or that business is going to come out with a huge, huge opportunity, and are going to be way ahead of everybody else.